Every day is a new beginning. Shine your light. It's a day and the world is waiting. Move along to the song, singing in your soul. Feel the beat, clap your hands, let's take control. All you need, all you want, are you ready to find your way? 'Cause every day is a new day.
Hi, welcome to Wisconsin Family. I'm here with Mr. Riley, and we are at Robinia Restaurant Group. We're having a great time here in the Madison Tap Room, where the taps interchange every month to represent all the different beautiful craft breweries in the area, and there are a lot. So they are lucky that they have a place here to just add in their different brews that they have, and people can come and try them every month. So that's fun. Check them out. We're going to talk to John Reske about things happening in Madison Tap and Jardin later in the show. Justin, what else are we doing today?
You pretty much summed all that up. I didn't have to do anything.
That was just the one.
That's just the one.
Yeah, that was just the one.
I love talking with John, though. So
John is a good time.
Yeah, he's a good time.
Yep.
Also, I hear that there's a gentleman by the name of Rob Grether, Rob Grether, who is part of Lake Point Realty, but also Dashalito's Hot Sauces. And he's supposed to be coming in. You think he'll make it in?
You never know with that guy,
Yeah,
honestly.
he's probably...
He's kind of a wingnut, so...
He's kind of a wingnut. But he's got some new things that are happening with the Dashalito's Hot Sauce that he's going to talk to us about. If you haven't seen the restaurant show in a couple of weeks, he was on there a couple of weeks ago, and he talked about some really exciting new things and a new flavor.
I was coming up with new stuff. Speaking of new stuff, how about getting some new updates in your home?
Yeah.
Guess who can do that for you?
Copperhead
Contracting.
Yep. They can do everything.
Everything.
Literally everything. And they will do everything.
They will.
So, you don't even really need to ask them. I mean, if you have any, no project too big or too small is my understanding.
I think that's kind of their thing. Yeah, there's no project too small, but they'll go ahead and rebuild or build an entire house from scratch.
Yeah,
And they have a super solid, amazing team of people. I've gotten to meet a lot of them out there, and they're just always raring to go, and they're very nice to talk to, not intimidating. They don't try to kind of swindle you with fancy contractor language. Well, I mean, it happens,
No,
where
they're
you're
pretty straightforward.
Very straightforward, and they're very easy to work with. So I'm excited to talk to them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, well, you won't get to talk to him.
Oh,
It's
that's
Janet.
why Janet's gonna kick me out. That's okay.
That's okay.
That's okay.
That's coming
She's
up after
worth
the
it.
break here on Wisconsin Family. So stick with us.
'Cause every day is a new day. 'Cause every day is a new day.
Welcome back to Wisconsin Family. We are here downtown, I guess kind of on the near east side at Madison Tap, part of the Robinia Courtyard family of restaurants, right past the Black Locust Cafe. So you head on into the Black Locust Cafe and you get to Madison Tap, and we're excited to talk to those folks later on in the program and see what's going on this month.
There's always something going on here.
Absolutely. So if you're interested in building, remodeling, or just about anything to do with either of those things that I just mentioned, you'll want to stick around because I'm joined now by Brandon from Copperhead Contracting. How are you, Brandon?
Thanks, guys. I'm doing great. Appreciate it.
Awesome, awesome. Now, we've had Copperhead Contracting on the program before, but this is your first interview with us, so
That's
welcome.
correct.
Welcome.
Thank you.
You guys do so much. I mean, there's really not a whole lot that you guys don't do when it comes to building and remodeling and that sort of thing. But I want to get to that later on, but I would say the first question I have is, what would you say are some things that are important when picking a contractor?
Great question. So first and foremost, when it comes to picking out a contractor, and it sounds like common sense, would be making sure that the contractor is licensed and insured. We hear horror stories about people that hire Joe Schmo off the street, and unfortunately he breaks a water main, and unfortunately you're fitting the bill. So making sure that somebody is licensed and insured is by far one of the most important things. Second thing is, if you're a reputable business, you should have references. So making sure that you've got good references. We provide our customers with both the licensing, insurance, and references as well too. Another thing is that person's going to be in your house for days, sometimes weeks, and depending on the scope of the project, months.
Yeah.
One of the things that we do at Copperhead Contracting is we make sure that we vet our employees. We make sure that not only do we have some of our leading people in the industry, but also we want to make sure that that they're honest, trustworthy people, so that when they come in your house, you can trust them. So,
of course,
yeah.
Absolutely. And the whole regulation thing, I mean, say what you will about regulations, but I think that's what really saves a lot of time, money, and hardship for people.
It really
because
does.
there are other countries where they don't have that, and then they do hire somebody off the street, and then it's really
Yeah, it
not a
exists
very
for a
good-
reason,
Not a good
so,
product.
yeah.
Good point.
For sure.
Exists for a reason. So as Justin mentioned, you guys do a lot of different things. So what would you say you actually specialize in?
Well, one of the nice things about Copperhead Contracting is that we're a general contractor, which means that we specialize in just about everything. So one of the differences, like say for example, you're doing a bathroom remodel, okay? well, you might have to hire a tile guy, you might have to hire an electrician, you might have to hire a plumber, a flooring guy, etc. So one of the things that we do is that we take care of all of those things. We have people that specialize in all of those types of things. So we take the hassle out of it for you, which saves you time and it saves you money. So, yeah.
So you actually have subcontractors that work for Copperhead Contracting?
Absolutely, and we have
That's
our own
cool.
team as well too.
Yeah, yeah.
So whenever we send somebody out, it's going to be somebody that specializes in that particular field.
Right.
And we take care of the hassle and the headache about getting those people. And obviously, we only work with good people. So,
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah. One of the things that I think has been mentioned on our programs in the past is disaster restoration. Now, can you tell us
Sure.
exactly what that is?
Yeah, absolutely. So disaster restoration, normally what we see is things like fire, flooding, wind, hail. In fact, actually in this area, we have a lot of hail damage that occurs. Unfortunately, it's just something that happens in the Wisconsin, the Midwest.
Right.
So what we do is oftentimes when a hailstorm will come through, people will call us up. They say, we got a bunch of hail. Can you come take a look? Now, what we do is we'll send a representative out there. They'll take a look and see what's damaged. Now, people say, well, hail, what can that do? Well, hail can damage your roof, your siding, your gutters, your windows, and severely diminish the value of your property.
Right.
So we want to make sure that when it comes to something like that, that we send somebody out there to address that issue. Now, with something like that, oftentimes you have to deal with the insurance company. One of the nice things about Copperhead Contracting is we're well used to dealing with the insurance companies. And sometimes that can be a difficult process. So we take that headache away from you. So we'll deal with the insurance company, we'll assess what the damage is, and we'll work with them to get your house back to normal again.
Right, absolutely.
Yep.
Well, I'll take hail over hurricanes any day.
Right, I suppose.
For sure, for sure.
point.
Now, I know that you folks offer free, no obligation estimates and inspections. And if there's a viewer that's watching right now that's thinking, yeah, I kind of should look into this, how do they get the ball rolling?
Yeah, well, it's really simple, actually. I mean, first off, we've got a 1-800 number, which I'm sure is on the screen. The other thing is that you can go to www.copperheadcontracting.com. You can fill out an email. And what we ask is that when you do call up, have an idea of what you want to have done. You know, whether it is a disaster restoration, obviously we can deal with that. But if it's a bathroom remodel, a kitchen remodel, if you need some new concrete poured, just give us an idea of what you want to deal with. And then what we do is we'll actually take a field representative that specializes in that particular field, and we'll actually send them out. They'll take a look at it. And again, I want to emphasize the fact that the estimates are free. There's no obligation.
Right,
So,
absolutely.
yep.
And we just have a minute left, less than a minute left, and I want to make sure we get to this question. Can you tell us about some of the new exciting projects that Copperhead has currently?
Yeah, well, I mean, we've got so many sticks in the fire, but one of the things that we're excited about is the new home builds. It's really interesting taking something, a bare piece of land, and building a property on it. So currently in the beautiful Fort Atkinson area, we've got a house that we're building over there. Another one of the projects that we're working on, again, we talked about disaster restoration, is we had a house that had fire damage. One of the more rewarding things is, you know, when something like that happens, you know, it can be hard for our family, is being able to get in there, take care of it, and then deal with the insurance companies to take the hassle off our customers. So, yeah, those are a couple of things that we've got going on.
Absolutely. Well, Brandon from Copperhead Contracting, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, guys.
Don't go away. There's more Wisconsin Family coming up after the break.
'Cause every day is a new day. 'Cause every day is a new day.
Welcome back to Wisconsin Family. We're sitting here nice and cozy at Madison Tap, part of the Rabinia Courtyard family of restaurants over on East Washington Avenue. I'm excited to talk with John later on in the program, but first, you're probably not going to recognize these two faces, but I guarantee you're going to recognize at least one of their voices. This is Buzz Kemper and Audrey Martinovich from Audio for the Arts. Welcome, guys.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. It's great to be here. Wait, wasn't there a Bloody Mary here earlier? Where'd that go?
Oh, I drank it. Quickly gone.
Yeah.
Done and done. They do have good Bloody Marys.
I do.
Word to the wise.
You guys do so much great work for our TV station, doing voiceovers and things like that, and for a lot of other clients in the area. It sounds like so much fun. What is the most enjoyable job you've done in the last few weeks?
Well, first of all, let me say that we really enjoy our relationship with Channel 57.
Aw,
You guys are
thanks.
so great.
Family
We
right
do-
here.
Yeah, we do some voicing for your ads, and it's great. It's a great relationship. We have so many great clients. We've been doing concerts for the Madison Symphony Orchestra. We've had a rock band in recently. But I think the thing that I would point to is that, and it got written up in the Monona paper, WVMO Radio wanted to do a Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. It's a radio adaptation. And so we volunteered studio time and we recorded all the actors. I was the narrator, so me and then all the other actors in the studio. And it was really fun. We did old-fashioned, 1950s style radio.
So you had shoes on a table and stuff like that?
We did some Foley, chains. Chains on the floor for Jacob Marley.
Yeah.
I got to star as Jingle Bells.
She did Jingle Bells.
Yeah, and a wind chime too. Yeah.
That is fun. Oh
It
my
is.
gosh, that little radio station does such cool stuff. I'm glad you guys are involved.
They are really fun.
Yeah. Well, so cool. Is it already playing, or is it played already?
It played once, and it's going to play again on Christmas weekend. And unfortunately, I don't know the times. You'll have to go to WVMO.
This is airing, unfortunately, after Christmas. But
Okay,
That's
fair enough.
okay.
But
I bet you
check
can
out the
find it in
website
there.
anyway.
So get in your time machine.
Yeah.
Go back.
Or just wait 360 days.
There you go.
Yeah. Play again next year, probably. Well, that is really fun stuff you got to do. Now, there's a lot of things that have changed, though. I mean, you're talking about something that kind of comes from the olden days that you just did, which is neat. But looking forward in the future, the last several years, technology, everything has probably brought a lot of changes to the industry. What kind of work are you looking to do or have done that have seen these kind of changes?
We kind of do a little bit of everything. Our bread and butter is acoustic instrument, but although that's not everything that we do a lot of classical, jazz, bluegrass, a lot of commercial work. So you've probably heard both of our voices on your station as well as the radio. I did a full-length horror movie over the summer, the sound design and music composition for that, and that was a really cool experience. So we kind of, dip our toes in everything.
There were like 2 months where every time I'd walk into the studio, there'd be some creepy, awful sounds going on. I'd be like, I'd have nightmares. So
I love that.
I mean, I'm
love
going to
that
be
to
fine.
your
A couple years of therapy and I'll be fine.
Right, yeah.
Okay, just
Until the
follow
next time
shrink
they
for
come
him,
in.
and you guys can continue.
Oh yeah. He's on speed dial. So.
So you guys do musical composition at Audio for the Arts.
A little bit, mostly. What I do is mostly pair it with film. Although our colleague Jason Kutz, he'll compose for choirs and he'll do arrangements, and he has his own little group that you participate in as well.
Nice, very cool. Very
Really
cool.
get your toes in all the waters, don't you?
Yeah.
We try.
Keep it interesting.
Do you sing
right?
first
Yes.
tenor then, or?
Do you hear this pleasing baritone?
I sing high soprano.
I was gonna say.
but only if my clothing is too tight.
Okay, got it. Well, what's really interesting about you guys do so much. A lot of different studios, they'll have a primary focus. Like they'll just do jazz, they'll just do rock bands. Do you guys have a focus that you do?
That's a great question. We started out being focused on acoustic music. A lot of the people who were around for the actual beginning of Audio for the Arts were public radio people. So our training was in classical music, orchestral jazz, stuff like that. And we bought a grand piano so we could serve that community really, really well. But we do rock bands, and I had an all-woman rock band in the studio just a few days ago called Tiny Dinosaur, and we had a ton of fun. And it was really fun because they really wanted to come in and work with us, and it was. I don't do a lot of rock bands. I tend to sort of avoid it because it can get really exhausting.
Yeah.
But these women were awesome.
Yeah.
And we loved it.
I love that they sought you out too. That's really special, Like
We
you
liked
guys
it
have
too.
a name around town, and you've been doing this for a long time now. I've met you two. Obviously, I've been to the studio. Such cool stuff you have there, like a certain couch that has some history, a guitar that has some history. There's some stuff there that's really interesting in their studio. But you guys make it happen. Is it just you two, or is there more of a crew happening, or?
There are 3 of us now, so
Okay.
it's Audrey and I are the 2 owners, and then a guy named Noah Gilfillan, and then you can talk briefly about our subcontractors.
Yeah, we work with Jason Kutz, like I mentioned. Casey, whose last name I'm blanking on, of
Carol.
course. Carol,
Yeah.
of course. Casey Carroll.
We love you, Casey.
We love you, Casey. I
Shout out to you,
promise.
Casey.
I
You're
sent
really
you a
special.
Christmas card. We work with them a lot too. Yeah, and then as we, get ourselves into some gigs that are a little bigger, we bring Tom Blaine in too. Steve Gotcher still is a little part with us as well. So we've got a little family as well.
It's definitely a family.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Awesome. Well, I wish we could sit here and talk for another 6 minutes, but we're out of time already, unfortunately. This is Buzz Kemper and Audrey Martinovich from Audio for the Arts. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you guys. It's always a pleasure.
We'll be right back with more Wisconsin Family after the break.
'Cause every day is a new day. 'Cause every day is a new day.
Hi, and welcome back to Wisconsin Family. We are sitting here really just kind of chilling. We're in Madison Tap in the Robinia Courtyard Restaurant Group with the owner, Mr. John Reske. Thank you for having us.
Thank you
I
for
really
being
love
here.
Sitting in this booth, I really feel like I'm like kind of high class, kind of, I don't know, maybe in a movie or like the TV show. Oh,
We're in a TV show.
we're in a TV show.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm not sure this shot gives it complete justice, but yeah, the lounge is nice to hang out in.
Yeah,
It's very silvery and very, it's just comfortable and very nice. So thanks again for providing this gorgeous set for
Absolutely.
us. Thank you.
Well, I got my notes as far as what we're going to talk to John about. So
Yeah,
let's-
I'll
Boom.
just totally get rid of that. That means a whole lot of nothing. Because what we're talking about is 2018. What's happening here? Tell us about the changes, the newness, the oldness, the goodness, all of it.
Well, we're just rolling off opening up Jardin, right? It's been open for a couple of months now. We had a stellar holiday season with the holiday bookings as well as the New Year's party. We had 6 DJs from Ibiza in here,
I know.
which
I
was
heard.
amazing.
It was
The
so
party was
crazy.
out of control. But
Nothing like Madison has ever seen.
I know, right? Exactly. It was
Don't
like,
miss that next
It was
year.
like little Portugal in here. It was amazing.
amazing.
But we're looking forward to 2018, obviously, and we got Restaurant Week coming up the 3rd week of January, which we're excited to be participating in for the first time
Oh,
as an
congratulations.
entity from Rubinia Courtyard. So that'll be fun, and then again, we're looking forward to hosting our curling league out in the courtyard as
When
well.
does that start?
Yeah, I'm
That's going to be
curious.
starting the 2nd week of January, actually. So
Okay.
coming up
So
soon. We're
that's
still
right around the
signing up.
corner.
Yeah, we're still signing up teams. Teams of 4 to 6. So it's exciting. It'll be, again, as I've discussed before, it will be something short of Olympic curling, right? But you will be using all of the equipment that professional curlers use.
Sure.
It'll just be on a smaller court,
Right.
and we'll have 3 lanes out there. So it'll
you
be
know
fun.
what-
Another way to get Madison to interact with the outdoors a little bit, right?
Yeah, in the winter you got to. Do you know
Exactly.
what curling is? Have you done this before? Have
I've
you
never,
curled?
I've never
Are you a
curled before.
curler?
I'm not a curler.
Are you a wannabe curler?
Not really.
Not really.
But, I
Not
mean,
even a wannabe
Way to
trying?
sell it,
you know,
Justin. Way to
but
sell it.
to be honest, I really respect people who do curl because it's really, it's a lot harder than it looks, I think, because you're really, that takes a lot of strength to
I
strut.
don't really know
And
how.
finesse,
I mean,
yeah.
is it like shuffleboard? Is that what you said? Or I don't really know what
it's
it is.
on that level. We're learning just as much as the next person here too, as
Okay.
far as all of the intricacies that are involved in curling. But so we'll find out, and we'll have more for you probably the next show.
'Cause I
about
wanna
how-
try it.
Yeah, it's
I
gonna
wanna
be
try
fun.
it. Can
Either
you
way.
just try it once, or do you have to like?
Oh, of course.
commit
No,
and be
we'll
on a
have
thing?
open.
Okay.
We'll have open play one
Okay.
night too. So we're still
Open
sorting
curling?
out.
Open curling play.
Yeah.
I think we need to go. I mean, just to represent.
I think we should.
Okay.
I think we
that's
should.
fine.
Exactly. Good.
I have a question, and it's a general question about Jardin.
Mm-hmm.
What can people find here as far as snacks? Is it small plates, big plates, all of the above, desserts, coffees? Like I had lucky enough to be able to try some of the offerings at a party that was recently hosted here by someone really lovely.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't really know what dinner's like. I haven't had that wonderful experience.
Yeah, well, dinner's obviously, we've got a couple of items from all over the map, actually, both geographically and culinarily speaking, if that's a word. But
is now.
lamb. There's some lamb, some duck on there. We've got a chicken dish. We've got a Vietnamese chili shrimp dish as well. So there's some smatterings of global cuisine all over. Obviously,
Nice.
using local, seasonally adjusted ingredients as well. So. I would not define the menu in any specific category other than Chef Brandon Reed is extremely creative, and he's
is.
putting his twists on all of these traditionally global cuisines or items, and so he's doing some very cool things. Great feedback on everything. So,
Good.
and then it's small and large plates as well. But the entrees are really driving the menu, and then there's a couple of salads and some smaller items too, like the shrimp. But so really, it's amazing. Some people sit down and order a smaller plate, and some people order 2 entrees.
And is
so.
is it a later night dinner fare expectation, or can you kind of come and just walk in and say, hey, we start at 5, serve
Yeah.
till 10?
Exactly. On the weekends for sure. Serve till 9 during the week. But No, it's all over the map, and yeah, I would not say it's a later fare right now. Although we are considering expanding our hours actually, because we are getting some of those late night pushes.
It just feels like that kind of scene. It could be people who are like those folks that, maybe don't have kids at home that can like go out to dinner at 8 or 9 or 10 p.m. and have that kind of fancy cuisine. So that might be fun. Justin, have you had a chance to try the food here? I know you like Black Locust.
I love Black Locust. I've not been to Jardin yet, but I was kind of curious to know just like what's been the favorite of people who've come in here and have tried the food.
Well, I would tell you the braised lamb dish is like by far the runaway favorite. I would say for meat eaters too, but. Yeah, again, we've had a couple of local publications write their 5-star reviews around that dish, basically. Wow. So everybody comes in to have that for sure. And then we've got a couple of, we're kind of limited right now, but that's about to expand with the turn of the year here as far as our vegetarian offerings go. So, we've got this wild mushroom dish that is also extremely popular.
Somebody I know just had dinner here and they mentioned it.
Yeah, it's ridiculous actually. So that's probably our #1 seller, but it is one of our limited vegetarian vegan offerings actually. So that's about to be expanded upon, like I said.
The menu items that are on Jardin, can you find, multiple different restaurants have their version of chicken marsala.
Right.
So do you have things that, it's your version of X, Y, and Z?
Yes.
And then some things also that are just unique that nobody else in town is doing.
I mean, I would say, no, I don't think there's anything unique that nobody else is doing. It's just the presentation and then like the flavor profile that Brandon brings to the game. So I would say, and I would honestly say that, as I not being the foodie that I am, or that the average restaurateur is, I would say that I don't know enough about what the classics are for there to be twists on it, But I know that Brandon's pulling from, again, with these global creations that he has, they are all based on relatively traditional dishes, right? So yes, I would say the short answer is yes. He is doing twists on classics.
Yeah.
But they're from all over the world again, right? Southeast Asia, Spain, Italy, France, so.
As far as the food, I just want to mention, if you're watching this show and you're aware that we have a restaurant show as well, Jardin is going to be, some of these dishes that John mentioned are going to be featured on the restaurant show in the next 2 to 3 weeks. So keep your eyes open and peeled. You'll see that on our Facebook page, Restaurant Show, of course, live on TV as well. Probably see John on the restaurant show, but we're going to get to meet Brandon for the second time, but in his own element, actually cooking for television. So that's going to be really nice. I want to switch gears for a quick second and say, is there any events coming up here at the beginning of January that you can find here? I know Restaurant Week is happening, curling is starting.
We've always, I would encourage everybody to go to our Facebook page, Rubinia Courtyard. We've got a great calendar of events on there, and it's always popping up. We might book something a week prior to the date, and then we've got our fixtures on Thursdays, Thursdays are kind of like our locked-in days where we have Intellectual Ratchet, who just won Best Hip Hop Promoter of the Year in the Madison Hip Hop Awards last week, which is great. They do a show here on the fourth Thursday of every month, and so that won't be for a little bit. And then the first and third Thursdays always Beat Chefs, great, phenomenal cover band, two guys that loop each other, and they do 80s, 90s, early 2000s hip-hop covers, funk, R&B. Amazing. And then the second Thursday is always DJ Fusion from 93.1 too. He always puts on a show.
Yes.
So
Thursdays.
And then Friday and Saturday always open. We just had a DJ from Berlin on the 30th of December here. And that brought a phenomenal show with him as well, as he was doing Smart Bar down in Chicago and then doing New Year's in Detroit. So he stopped in Madison, and we had a connection with this guy. So, but things like that are always popping up. So I encourage people to check the Facebook calendar. That's the best and truest way to figure out what's going on here. But there's always something going on.
There is always something going on. It's always something great, something fun, something delicious. Rubinia Courtyard, Jardin, Black Locust Cafe, and Madison Tap. Come check them out. This is Wisconsin Family. This is John Reske. Thanks for having us, and thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Clap your hands, let's take